I want to ask you about the replacement to Justice Scalia. What's going to happen there, do you think? The president said he's going to nominate someone.
He can nominate someone. The Senate's not moving forward on it until after the election. Senator McConnell, the majority leader, has already made that clear, and I agree with that. There's been a precedent established over 80 years that in the last year, especially in the last 11 months, you do not have a lame duck president make a lifetime appointment to the highest court on the land, in the land. So we're going to have an election in November. This vacancy is going to be an issue in this election. The voters are going to get to weigh in, and then they'll choose a new president. And then that new president, which I expect will be me, will then be able to nominate someone and work with the Senate to confirm them.
Don't the voters weigh in when they pick the president in the first place, and then his powers extend until the last day? If there were an emergency, you'd still expect the president to participate.
But this is a lifetime appointment. This is not a law you can reverse. This is not a policy you can undo. Once you name someone to the Supreme Court, they're going to be there until they die or leave, and that's a very serious thing. And so the president can decide whatever he wants, but I'm just telling you, the Senate's not moving forward on it until we have a new president, and I agree with that.
And if you were president, would you have that kind of last year moratorium on a...
I would understand, yeah, I would. And in fact, and it's not just for the Supreme Court. There's a practice that in the last 8 months of a presidency or 9, you stop doing appellate courts as well. And I would respect that practice.
If you had if you were president, you had a nominee to put forward, would there be any kind of litmus test? I asked Governor Bush about this last night because conservatives have said, we want to make sure we have justices who are really conservative on the bench.
Well, it's not about your views on the issues. It's very simple. Does this person that we are nominating have a consistent and proven record of interpreting the Constitution as initially meant? What did the society that wrote those words mean? What did those words mean to that society at the time in which those words were written in the Constitution? That's what I want out of a judge, out of a justice that looks at legislation and says, what was the meaning behind this legislation when it was passed by Congress? If you don't like the meaning, then there's a process. The Constitution provides a process to change the Constitution. It's called Article 5, and it gives you a process for changing the Constitution. But I'm looking for people that are going to look at the Constitution and apply it and interpret it based on the original meaning of the words in that document.